Assalamu alaikum, sir. So I'm going to be demonstrating how to run the Sphere Agency project, both the front end and back end in this tutorial sort of. So I'm going to navigate to my front end folder, and the first things first, I'm going to make sure that I have the .env file and the package.json file. If I have both of these files, I can safely run my project. So first things first, I'm going to run my terminal over here. Within this directory, I'm going to open my terminal, and I'm just going to install my Node.js based dependencies. In order to install my dependencies, I must make sure that I have the latest version of Node installed. I'm going to make sure by node -v, and as you can see, I have Node already installed within my PC. If you have Node.js, then you can simply run npm install. This will resolve all the dependencies mentioned in the project package.json file. Now this is going to take some time, so meanwhile I'm going to navigate to my backend folder. And in the backend folder, I need two things. First of all, the .env file and a virtual environment. Now, in order to create a virtual environment, I'm going to open another terminal window or command prompt. In order to create a virtual environment, I can simply write python -m virtual environment.vnv, and then I'm going to write the name of my virtual environment, which in this case is going to be .vnv. Now the virtual environment name can be anything you like. Okay, so our front end has just resolved all its dependencies. I'm going to create a production build for my front end. Now, why am I going to create a production build? Because it is going to run faster in this case. Basically we're testing how our application is running, so there's no need to run it in development mode. And in order to create this application, in order to create a build for this application in production mode, I'm going to run a script npm run build. Now this script is going to be run in the front end folder. This will create a production build. It will take some time. And so our virtual environment was created. I must activate my virtual environment in the backend folder. In order to activate my virtual environment, I'm just going to write the name of my virtual environment, which is .vnv, a backward slash, scripts, another backward slash, activate. Now this has activated my virtual environment, and once I make sure that I'm currently in my virtual environment, I'm going to run pip install -r requirements.txt. Kindly make sure that you type this correctly. Now what this command will do, it will install all the dependencies needed for the backend. Once I run this command, it will, okay. So once I run this command, it will resolve all my backend dependencies, and my npm run build is, okay, I did not press enter here. So npm run build will create a production build for our application. This is also going to take some time. So our backend has resolved all its dependencies. It's going to take some time to make sure everything was installed correctly. And our front end is also working while building. So our front end has successfully built itself. So I'm going to run npm run start. Traditionally, we run npm dev, but this will start the development mode. This will install our start our application in development mode. But we are trying to run the application in development mode. In order to do that, we must write npm run start. So our application is running successfully at localhost 3000. I'm just going to copy this URL, paste it in my browser. I'm just going to wait for my backend to complete its packages and installation, and then we're going to run the backend. This is taking longer than I expected, but we will have to wait. Okay, so this took a lot longer than expected. Anyways, my server is running. Okay, so it's running. Everything's all okay, and my server successfully started with no warnings. So I'm just going to log in, and so this is working fine, and this is the test campaign I just created earlier. I'm going to create another campaign. Test campaign version 26, I would say, and then everything remains the same. It is going to be 11. My code was generated. I'm going to submit my campaign. My campaign was submitted, and I'm just going to take some time, wait for it to process. Depends on the speed of your internet and the Gemini API's availability. If the Gemini API is available, it is going to show up right away. If not, it is going to take some time, but if I open my test campaign, it will fetch all the relevant data, and when I fetch my dashboard data again, I can see that the date has been updated with the updated dates. I don't know what happened here in this Vercel campaign. The Maybe the Gemini API glitched out or something. It must have had any sort of errors. Anyways, as you can see, everything's working completely fine. I can fetch all my projects. It is going to fetch in some sort of time. And then for my task, I can also fetch my task. Dashboard data is fetching. I'm not sure what happened in your case, but I'm completely sure that it was a one-time thing and it won't happen again. If by the way, this was the complete tutorial on how to run the project as required. If there are any suggestion on changes needed, kindly let me know.